Hello, YTPC. This is Steve, and you're watching Smoking Cardboard. This is a pre-recorded video. Another YTPC member, Chad, Barbed Wire Piper channel, had put out a offer request to have some people sample some tobaccos that he had. So has some Cellared 10-year-old tobaccos they wanted to compare about against some new tobaccos of the same thing, and didn't just want his opinion, so he was going to be kind enough to share the tobaccos he had, and we were going to get some new tins to compare. So I have the first one. We should all be, if this goes right, releasing our reviews all at the same time, not to influence each other. So it'll be interesting to go watch theirs. And I will try to leave links in here when I get them. If you're watching this right away, probably not going to be there. But I'll leave a link to Chad's channel, which he said he was going to make a playlist for these. So the first one we were going to sample is a tobacco I've already had before, not aged or anything, is Mac Baren Dark Twist. So this is from June 2020. And the other sample that he gave me is from July 2010. If you put them back together, the fresh one is brighter, not as dark. I don't know, you'll be able to see any of that. This is like Virginia with like Kentucky inside some of the coins. It also has kind of a sugar, brown sugar type casing on it. I usually equate the taste of this to being kind of like warm cinnamon rolls coming out. So it'll be kind of interesting to see if that's what I still get. I really enjoy this tobacco. So let me get these pipes put together. And I'm trying them in 2 Martinsky pipes. This billiard that I have, and another billiard that I have from Martinsky. So let's give this a go. See you in a bit. All right, just got the fresh stuff packed. Basically, I took like 4 or 5 of the coins, and I kind of bunched them, folded them up together, kind of like a football, and then I put them in there. So it doesn't quite fill my pipe, but that's fine because I got 2 pipes here. On first light, it's very recognizable to me. I mean, maybe if I didn't know what it was, it wouldn't be so recognizable. But it's kind of funny. Like we have a beer fridge, and we keep some beer in there. And my wife will go get a beer, and I won't know what she got, and she'll bring it back and give it to me, and she'll be like, "Which beer is this?" And I know which beers are in that fridge, and 50% of the time, I guess the wrong thing. So, kudos to the people that can distinguish that sort of stuff. That is really hard. So I tried to match up some of the coins that had the dark fired with the ones that didn't. I'll try to do that with the darker ones. So I get a pretty consistent compare. No, This is not scientific. And I am smoking in a 9 mil for those that don't know. That's all I smoke. So I can get that sweetness of that brown sugar in some puffs, and some puffs early here. I'm also getting a lot of dark fired. Right now it's not quite so much giving me the cinnamon rolls flavor, but I get it every once in a while because the dark fire is pretty full flavored. Some people say Mac Baren bites them, but Mac Baren blends don't tend to bite me. This can if I puff it too much. Pretty much any blend can for me. But I think it's the sweetness that's in it. Generally speaking, once it gets going, it'll do a good job. I've learned to be gentle with the lighting and just do it multiple times rather than getting everything quite so hot. Keep a lot of the flavor that can be lost if you don't do that. You get a little bit of the Virginia, the dry hay, grass. But I'd say most of it is in these darker notes from the Kentucky and Virginias. Kentucky is very kind of like full flavors. So generally Kentucky is hardwood smoked burley that is usually considered nuttier in flavor. I really associate dark fired and a lot of the burleys with wood, and I guess that's because I'm a woodworker. So when I am working and sawing stuff up and there's just dust in the air, you kind of get the flavor of that wood in your nose and your mouth and stuff. So I'm getting sweetness. It tastes like a molasses type sweetness with a little bit of the grassy hay, and then these darker notes of kind of like an unsweetened porter, like a not sweet porter. So it's roasty and almost like a dark chocolate that doesn't have any sweetness with it. Not quite as much getting that flavor that I sometimes get, where I feel like it's really sweet and cinnamon roll-esque. So this tin obviously already has a year of age, so it's not fresh. But for the purposes of this comparison, this is quite a big difference in age. There is a little bit of a reminding of a hardwood campfire versus softwood like pine or something. So you're definitely getting that Kentucky in the bits. Now, with these, like I said, some of the coins have dark fired in them, and some of them don't. So you can kind of mold and manipulate the bowl to show off different characteristics. You could put like, only dark fired at the bottom of the bowl. One that's all dark fired coins with the next bowl none. Some of that sort of stuff. So it's kind of neat how you can build some variety. Oh wait, let me smoke this a little bit more and see if I get anything else to note. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back for a little bit update on this one. I am almost done with this bowl. I get a little bit more of that sweetness that I kind of associated with the cinnamon rolls, but maybe I had too much dark fired in this one to really get too much of that. If I had done a little less dark fired in this one, I think it would have came alive to that flavor I was talking about earlier. I got some wisps of that, but really the dark fire was playing a big role throughout the smoke. But I really enjoy dark fire, so that's fine with me. I really like this blend. So let me do up a bowl of the aged stuff and we can compare. All right, I'm back. Loaded up my other pipe. With stuff from 2010. It's 11.5-year-old tobacco. So immediately you can tell the difference. I'd say it just immediately tastes richer and sweeter. The Kentucky is still there singing its tune. But I'm not getting that same like dried hay type flavors that I was getting. Tastes softer, like not quite as rough around the edges, more meld together and then kind of sweeter and just darker. Tastes slightly different. Again, that Kentucky is definitely coming through. There's like the same like level of spiciness that comes through with that. Yeah, I think it's kind of just changed. I could see someone preferring it one way versus the other. I think the advantage to this one is like it's any amount of harshness that might have been there. Now granted, it's through the 9mm, so there's probably not a lot to begin with. For me, has kind of gone away. Or at least is less present. Yeah, the sweetness is just a little bit easier to find and taste. And it just tastes a little bit more rich, you know. The other one was kind of more hardwood, oaky campfire with some hay. And this one kind of tastes like a brown ale with a little bit of spice, you know, along with that same oaky, fiery, but it's not quite like the campfire flavors. I wouldn't say the differences are crazy extreme. But they're like immediately noticeable. Maybe if I was better at tasting things, if someone would give me this, I could pick up some of these flavors that are associated with kind of aged Virginia tobaccos. But I might not be able to tell. Trying them back to back, I certainly can tell a difference. Either way, I think this blend is really good. Fresh or aged. I'm enjoying the sweet, savory flavors that are coming from this aged one, though. Tasty. Well, I think that will conclude this. I'll continue to smoke this because it's yummy. And just thank Chad for the opportunity to try this out and give you guys an idea of what the differences are between this blend. Well, I'm smoking this a little bit further, and I feel like now I'm tasting more of these aged tobaccos, and it tastes more noticeable than it did when I initially gave my impressions. So I had to cut back in here and give that thought. It's just a different flavor that is coming through with these tobaccos being aged. That whole dry hay is, like I said, completely gone. I'm still getting the dark fired, but it's more subdued than it was originally, and that could have been just the coins that I picked, like I said. But this sweet, like a tobacco sweet, not like the brown sugar sweetness that I was tasting before. Like it tasted like molasses. This is tasting like I don't know, sweet, good tobacco. Anyway, yeah, I'm looking forward to smoking this and the nice sample they shared, some more of it. Delicious. So, I don't know. I had another blend that had the Wessex Classic Virginia a while back that I reviewed, and that was hard to describe those flavors because they're not really fruits, you know. They're not like foods. They just taste like tobacco. So, if you'll accept that as my description, that's what I have. So, really tasty. Anyway, you guys all be well. Have a great new year. I'll talk to you later.